Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Guidance. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. So just a few messages before we get into the reading. I just want to thank you all for all the support and all the love that you continuously pour into the channel. This is my third year on YouTube. I'm going into my fourth year, and this has been quite a journey. So I just want to thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes. The more you pour into the channel, share your thoughts on the journey, the more I'm able to tap into the collective energy. And it's just really been a beautiful experience. I also want to thank everyone who got personal readings from me. All of your energies have been absolutely amazing. If you still would like to book a personal reading with me before they close, the link is in the description box below. I will be closing out personal readings just to take a break, to relax, recalibrate my energy, and just get ready for, the wrapping up of the end of the year. And lastly, if you are interested in more general readings, on topics of finances, spiritual guidance, or just like overall messages from spirit, I will be linking my new channel in the description box below because I'll start uploading content on that channel in September. So I'll just leave that link below for those of you who may be interested in that. Okay, it's going to be a completely different energy. This channel here is focused on love and, twin flame journey. This is going to be a more general, more personal, more curated type of energy where we just focus on divine guidance, your spiritual journey, and messages that your spiritual team wants to get to you, revolving your own personal development, your soul path, your purpose, things like that. Okay, so definitely check it out. But let's go ahead and get into it. I have a love message from your person. So I will be pulling from this deck here just to see how your person is currently feeling, how they are currently viewing you and or your connection, as well as any other important messages that they may have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get a very clear and concise message directly from their heart space. Okay, so the first message that we have is, I need time to think. Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up on a masculine energy that's kind of weighing their options. It's almost like your person is finding themselves in this place where a lot of people find themselves in after being in a connection with someone for a while. It's that sensitive place where you can't go back to how it used to be and you want to move forward, but you're wondering if you and your person are on the same page or if you have the same goals at this stage. It's almost like your person doesn't want to completely overlook everything that transpired in the past, but they also know that they can't really have a fair chance with you if these things aren't considered. So right now I'm being shown the image of the Nine of Wands. So this is your person's overall energy at this time. They're really in deep thought about you, Divine Feminine, but also how to move your connection forward. And if they're being 100% honest, this is one of those times where your person may really want to be in control of the new beginning. And there could be many reasons for this. Maybe they did something in the past that they're not very proud of, or something that they would rather forget. Whatever it is, it's almost like there's a part of them that wants to keep something in the past, but deep down they know that it may not be that simple. So this may indicate that you and your person are in the same relationship or connection physically, but they are somewhere totally different mentally. So with this card here, it's almost as if your person feels like they're really close to a breakthrough and they want to move forward with this, but they're considering what it means to you, Divine Feminine. So this could be a time where there is a lot for you to discuss because your connection is just in this really sensitive place. And your person's energy is coming through as if they're trying their very best not to be impulsive, not to say anything impulsive, not to react in an impulsive manner, even if they really want to. There could be moments where they just want to say something to you completely unfiltered in hopes that them really coming to you with this raw energy will help to move the connection along or break up the energy in some way. But something is really telling them to think before they act. So not only are they concerned about the current state of your connection, but they're even more worried about you, Divine Feminine. I'm also picking up on indirect energy. So instead of your person acting out impulsively, they could be sending you a lot of indirect messages. They could be trying to send you signs. Maybe they're trying to throw you hints by, saying little inside jokes or using code words with you. And it's almost like they've resorted to doing this because the place that they're standing in, this position they're standing in, has become very uncomfortable. But they feel like the energy they are sending you is not being received well. Let's get the next message here. Oh, wow. The next message that we have is, I expected more from you. The way this masculine's energy is coming through, there are a lot of things that they can deal with, but they don't really like the feeling of uncertainty when it comes to you. And that's what they feel right now. Yeah, because there's a lot of energy coming through with this card here. So if you're wondering where your person's head is at this time or what they're thinking about, this is how they feel about you. They expected more from you. And just as I said those words, I got the image of a Divine Feminine that's kind of sitting back and smiling. So the real reason that they want to be impulsive or rush into you is because this masculine clearly did something or said something in the recent past that really triggered you. There could have been a conversation that went too far, or maybe your person did something that affected you both mentally and emotionally. But instead of you responding with emotion, I'm getting that you were very calm. So calm that your person is extremely uncomfortable. So, Divine Feminine, maybe you didn't even flinch, even if you were feeling a range of emotions on the inside. And they were not expecting that at all. This is why, despite them trying to sit back and think and, ponder on what would be the best way to respond to you, they really want to do something impulsive. They want to rush towards you to get a reaction from you because they're not used to you responding to them so nonchalantly. And this card here is simply their ego talking. But if they were to be 100% honest with you, your current disposition has them completely on edge. Maybe in the past, you would have given them more of your energy, but this time around, you're being a little bit more reflective. I'm also getting this really withdrawn type of energy. And so by holding this stance, Divine Feminine, you've made your person sit in their own energy. And what's really hitting them emotionally, what's really pulling on them, is the fact that you would normally pick up on their indirect messages or their signs. And that would be the thing that would usually break the ice, but I'm getting it's not working. So that could also be one of the ways that your person would control the energy of your connection. But it's almost like you're sitting back in silence because you're waiting for them to do something a little more assertive. So this is what has them in deep thought. Another thing that's sticking out with this Nine of Wands energy is that this usually points to a connection that's been through a lot of challenges. But even though you face some things on your journey, you've already made up in your minds that this is the connection that you want to be in. Your person is taking this stance knowing that this is exactly where they want to be. So the fact that your person knows that they're not going anywhere could be adding even more intensity to your connection. But there was definitely something that triggered you, Divine Feminine, and your person completely misread your energy. They anticipated a certain reaction from you, but what they were met with instead is silence. And I just keep getting this image of you sitting back and smiling. And not smiling in a way to make light of the situation, but it's almost as if you're proud of yourself for standing your ground. Almost like you know that by you holding back in this way, it kind of forces your person to show their hand. It's putting them in this position where they not only have to show you how they really feel about you, but they also have to show you how they plan to deal with the ebbs and flows of your connection. I'm also getting that you may be smiling because you're in this place where you no longer like the idea of being predictable. Whether you verbally express this to your person or this is just subconscious. So it's almost as if this is happening to see how your person deals with your energy. And the way your energy is coming through Divine Feminine, you're really interested to see how your person comes out of this. What they choose to do, what they choose to say to you, how they choose to approach you. It's almost like you're sitting back, you're waiting, and you're watching. But you're not really responding. You're not picking up on any cues. You're not responding to anything indirect at this time. And it really, really has your person on edge. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is love is blind. And Divine Feminine, your energy is coming through very, very strongly with this card here. I also just got the word Empress very clearly. So this may be that energy that I feel of you kind of sitting back. Maybe you're kind of sitting on your throne, smiling, not really giving off so much emotion, but your inner world is completely on fire right now. So even though your person may be looking back at your connection from the perspective of the past, I'm getting that they're about to meet a totally different version of you. What shifted in you and what has you being more quiet or more reflective is that love has always been your blind spot. I just got that so clearly. So every time you're in a connection, or maybe when you're really interested in someone, they instantly take this seat in your blind spot, which means that it becomes very easy for you to overlook a lot when it comes to the person that you love. But at this stage in your life, you're not only changing what you acknowledge, you're also changing what you respond to and how you react. It feels like this is something that you're actively healing, or it just became really important to you at this stage of your journey. This also speaks to how your person saw you in the past or the beginning of your connection, even if they don't realize it. So this masculine may have been very well aware that they were sitting in your blind spot. They could have even got comfortable sitting there. And the way this energy is coming through is not a negative thing on your part, Divine Feminine. I feel like this is just highlighting your capacity to love in a really non-judgmental way. And it also speaks to the depths of your heart space and the capacity that you hold for other people. But in this new chapter, or just moving forward, I feel like you're actively choosing to be more reflective. And so you using silence as a response is not in a way to ignore your person or to be dismissive. It's a way to reflect while also not allowing your energy to be so wrapped up in your person or in your connection. I'm also getting that when it comes to your energy field was just really porous in the past. It was really easy for anyone's energy to kind of spill over onto you without warning, especially people that you love. So as a means of spiritual protection, you've just been a little bit more conscious of what's going on around you. And it's like the more conscious you become of yourself, the more your person can see themselves clearly. But with them sitting in your blind spot in the past, it's almost like your light or your energy was acting as a shield to your person, okay? I hope this is coming through clearly. So your person is in this energy where they keep looking to the past for that divine feminine to show up. But they could be coming into the awareness that you are in your Empress energy. And in order for them to get any kind of response from you, they have to show up as the Emperor. So this is a really interesting place for your masculine. It's almost like there's a sense of familiarity that they have with the past. And then there's this unknown energy as they're looking out into the future. So it's almost like they approach this with them wanting to control the new beginning. This is why they want to control the new beginning, because they want to dictate how they respond to your energy. But this shift is really pulling on them in a way that they were not expecting. Let's get the next message here. Yeah. The next message that we have is, my next move is vital. Yeah, it's almost as if the less you speak, the more clearly your person understands you. But I feel like this card here is a direct message that your person is receiving from their intuition, because there's definitely a sense of urgency that's coming through with their energy. Almost like their intuition has went from simple nudging to this really persistent call. It's almost like a phone that just keeps ringing until you answer it. So they may also be feeling changes in their body as well, because this is how the intuition shows up. The intuition shows up in your body. It's a gut feeling or just reoccurring thoughts that will not leave you alone until you acknowledge it. Because the truth is that when your higher self wants you to advance or to make a choice that's going to help your soul growth, it really does not care about discomfort. In the spiritual realm, growth is just seen as growth. You know, because we're having a human experience, we attach pain to it. You know, we attach resistance to it, or anything that's unknown as being uncomfortable or as a source of fear. But if you signed up to come here to learn and to advance, then there will absolutely be moments on your journey when you can literally feel like you should be doing something or you should be saying something. And this is exactly what your person is experiencing right now. Their higher self is guiding them towards you so they can clear the air. So you can definitely expect some form of communication from your person, Divine Feminine, because the way their energy is coming through, they're going to answer the call. It's almost like they're just trying to sort through what it is they're going to say, because they know that their next move is vital. And they can really feel this energy, because it's like every day that they allow to pass without doing something, without speaking to you, without clearing the air, is making them very uncomfortable. It's also the fact that you're not responding to anything subtle at this time. So maybe your person had a lot of things in their arsenal that would have worked perfectly on you in the past. But I'm getting that all of their tricks or their tools, they're just not working. So they know that they have to be direct, they have to be honest, they have to be very, very conscious of how they approach you. So while they may feel a deep sense of urgency, I'm still getting that your person does not want to do anything impulsive. You really have them strategizing and coming up with a plan or coming up with different ways to approach you. And this is good because honestly, this is someone who sees themselves being with you for a very long time. So they're taking this very seriously. But this may just be a time in your connection where the silence is a little bit uncomfortable, especially for your masculine. For you, Divine Feminine, I don't know, your energy is just coming through very regal. You know, it's almost like you want to see how your person is going to respond to you in this way. And you're kind of sitting back and waiting because, again, this is a connection that may have experienced a lot of challenges, but deep down, you both have already energetically signed off on this. You both know that this is your person. You both have already chose one another. So I feel like this is just a hurdle that you have to get over. But it's really, really playing on your masculine's mind right now because they would use your response, maybe your anger, maybe your reactions as a measuring stick to see how to gauge what to say to you or what to do. But silence is very, very powerful because it forces your person to kind of sit and reflect. And I feel like this is just highlighting their reflection process, what's going through their mind, how they're viewing you, you know, what's changed from the beginning of your connection to now. Okay. Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is, you can't handle someone like me. Wow. This may be another thing that's underneath their urgency. There's a switch that takes place in every connection when the divine feminine becomes more self-actualized. And the switch is, instead of holding the masculine on the pedestal, you take him off the pedestal and you put yourself there. And honestly, a lot of connections are tested when this happens because there's such a huge shift in the dynamic. There's a huge shift in the energy. But actually, this is how it's supposed to be. And you'll notice when you reach this place because you'll feel the need to stop explaining yourself, to stop overexerting your energy, to stop negotiating your worth. It's such a beautiful level of embodiment. And I feel like this reading is really trying to show you how your person is responding to you. But on a deeper level, I feel like this is highlighting something that a lot of masculines have to find out. And it's a complete shock to them. They have to find out that the feminine is a cyclical being. There's so many changes that you go through in your life on a daily, monthly, and yearly basis. And so this is something that you may be secretly thinking at times. You wonder if your person can handle you. You wonder if your person can handle all facets of your being. You know that you're multidimensional. You know that you're this balance of yin and yang energy, and that the way that you present one day may be totally different depending on your level of embodiment. But although you know this about yourself consciously or unconsciously, you also are aware that this is something that your person has to find out day by day, by loving you, by studying you, by experiencing you, and by paying attention to you. So whether you know it or not, this is the energetic signal that you're sending to your person. This is what has them stopping and thinking. And if you're resonating with this message, this energy may be even more personal for you, because it honestly feels like you're smack dab in the middle of a shift. And as the divine feminine, you change every 7 years. So maybe you're in this place where you're facing one of your 7-year cycles. And every time you shift, you become a little more authentic, a little more unapologetic, and so much more in alignment with your true self. And the fact that you're in this connection with your person, it makes it even more intense because you both may be discovering this newness at the same time. So whether you know it or not, you've activated the part of your masculine that wants to show you that they can show up for you no matter where you are on your journey. This is what your silence is communicating to them. And believe it or not, they not only understand it, but they also respect it, because it makes them feel more secure in themselves as a masculine to be able to handle what it is that you are going through. Okay? So if this is the energy that you're sending out to your person energetically, it's like your person is responding and saying, I can handle you. You know, they're up for the challenge. They're up for the task of loving you through everything that you have to go through and all the phases that you have to go through to become who you actually are here to be. Okay? So this is really beautiful energy. Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have is, you love differently. Yeah. You're in a stage where you're no longer experiencing love and connection in a passive way, divine feminine. And this is not just directed at your masculine. I feel like this is for everyone in your life. I feel like everyone that's around you is just getting this PSA. You're finally teaching people how to treat you. But you're only reserving this version of yourself for those you actually want to share space with. This is why your masculine knows that their next move is vital, because you're usually not this quiet. You're maybe a little bit too reflective at this time, Divine Feminine, and that has them a little bit nervous because, like I mentioned before, this is someone who was used to flying under the radar because of how much you love them, because you had them in their own category. But you're clearly in a stage where you're standing in your power. And maybe in the past, you would have assumed power by reacting or by explaining yourself. But your energy is a lot more subtle, so it's unexpected. It's one of those situations where as long as you're still talking, still venting, still complaining, your person assumes that you care. But your silence is hitting them different because you're no longer moving from a place of emotion. You're moving from a place of power and logic. And they know that they have to match your energy because you're showing up as the Empress. They have to show up as the Emperor. And even though they may not know what to expect when they approach you, they know that in order to shift the energy, they have to make the first move because they've already decided that they want you. But now they're realizing that even though you may appear to be the same on the outside, they're liable to wake up to a totally different Divine Feminine because you are so cyclical. So this won't be the last time that they experience this type of shift in your dynamic. So when your person approaches you, Divine Feminine, after giving this some thought, after coming up with their strategy or their plan, to shift the energy, definitely keep this in mind because underneath the intensity or the uncertainty that your person may be feeling is really a masculine who loves you and who just wants to understand you. Because even though your energy complements them in a lot of ways, it's still foreign to them in a lot of ways as well. And they're going on this journey as a masculine to deeply understand their counterpart. And it definitely feels like this is one of the stages in your connection where you're changing and they're getting acclimated to that change. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon to continue this reading just to see what your person is thinking. What are their intentions when they're coming towards you, and any other messages that they may have for you at this time. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.